appreciate it. Let's go to old Billy Burr. This is from Kyle. This is from what's Kyle's name? He used to be Saying Z. Unique. I love Unique. I think he does a great job. I'm glad he's back. But Bill Burr was not happy with the criticism he got for the Saudi Arabia thing, and he finally he went off.
Going on, how are ya? Oh, geez.
Remember, guys, loud is funny. Loud is funny.
Says, how's it going in your neck of the woods there? It's not going so good in my neck of the woods. I'll tell you that. The sanctimonious is sanctimonian. Key word on the monian. Oh, Jesus. All right, here's the deal.
Bill's definitely the guy who got the $1.2 million, by the way, because the more they got paid, I feel like the more they're defending it. Like Dave Chappelle probably got the $1.5 million. You know, he's out there saying, I have more freedom of speech here than I do in America. Now, look, I got a lot of shit in the last clip I put up about this because they're like, oh, the whataboutism you're doing. You're doing whataboutism. Well, whataboutism is a fair thing to do when you're comparing two things. You can't compare two things without doing a whataboutism. You know, and when you say like, oh, these guys should never go to Saudi Arabia. They should never take money to go to Saudi Arabia. Well, okay, that's fair. But Saudi Arabia, if you're really offended and upset about what Saudi Arabia is, and I feel like some people are, other people are morally grandstanding, and it's fucking retarded, and it's really gross, but whatever. A lot of people like to sit online and go, Saudi Arabia's mean to gays, and then, you know, they're with their friends, they're yelling the gay F word and stuff. It's like, I don't really buy your disdain for homophobia, or like the women's rights stuff over in Saudi Arabia. All that shit is bad, right? All that shit is terrible. But I can promise you this. If no American comedians go over there and tell jokes, nothing will ever change. If you just shut that country out forever, look at Iran. If you just shut that country out forever, they're just going to become more ardent in their beliefs. You liberalize societies by bringing them arts, entertainment. I mean, just look at the WWE. The women had to basically wrestle in like 1920s bathing suits the first time they went there. Now the outfits are loosening up a bit. Same thing with the comedians. They were saying the first time they went there, you had a big, long list of shit you couldn't talk about. Now, government, religion. Okay, Saudi Arabia, is it fucked up? Are their leaders tyrants and assholes? 1,000%. Absolutely. Does that get better or worse with those comedians deciding not to go? Does it get better or worse with those comedians going? Personally, I don't think they move the needle drastically one way or the other, but I do think more people coming out and exposing Middle Easterners to Western culture and Western humor liberalizes societies. I mean, a lot of these people, they're grandstanding on YouTube for hits. They're grandstanding on YouTube for views, whereas I'm willing to take all the down votes just to tell the truth and not be some internet-dwelling dickhead. The fact is, we have embraced this idea since before the Cold War, that the more Western culture, you know, blue jeans diplomacy, blue jeans and rock and roll, the more it gets over to these other parts of the world, the more the people want more of it, and that's how you slowly liberalize cultures. Saudi Arabia is not going to stop doing their fucked up shit tomorrow. And that's whether Bill Burr, Louis C.K., and Dave Chappelle are there or not. But the more the Saudi people watch WWE, the more they watch probably eventually NFL football, the more they watch stand-up comedy or see musical concerts, the more they're going to want more of that Western culture. And the government will have to provide it. Again, we have seen both things numerous times. We have seen us close ourselves off artistically from countries, and they become more ardent and more totalitarian. We've seen our country bring more of our arts to totalitarian regimes, and they slowly start to liberalize over generations. So I know we all hate Bill Burr because Disney Bill and he's got a black wife, but if you grow up and you use your ears, you'll hear me a little bit here. Bill Burr is not enabling the Saudi regime to do the evil shit they're doing. Louis C.K., Chris DiStefano, Dave Chappelle, none of these guys are making it worse in Saudi Arabia by going there. Now, if your argument is, well, they're taking the money and they're censoring their jokes. Okay. I think Mark Maron said it best when he was very honest and he said, look, nobody's asking me to go. So it's easy for me to sit here and rip on the concept. 1.3 million bucks. And all you do is you can't tell Muslim jokes and you can't tell jokes about the Saudi government. And you got a wife and kids at home. 1.3 million helps out.
You guys are asking me, obviously, a ton of questions about the absolute controversy, all right? Here's the deal. I have no problem answering any of them. The problem I have is after I answer them, it all gets clipped. And then once it gets clipped, then the lies start getting told, or they start shaping it and making it this and making it that.
Well, I mean, wait a minute. You get to come on and you get to spout your opinion and you get to say boo about Saudi Arabia and all this stuff and defend yourself. Other people get to hear you and they get to analyze it and they get to have an opinion too. That's why you do a podcast. It's two-way communication. It works both ways. You get to host a show. The audience, from the Latin to listen, Audi, they hear the show and they get to respond to the things they're hearing. You can't go, it's not fair because I tell everyone what I think and then they get to tell me back what they think about what I said. Yeah, that's normal. That's fine. The rest of us are totally okay with that. We do one of two things. We either shut our show off when we're done. We just let people have their opinion. We don't watch it. We don't listen to it. And we just go, well, that's part of the game. I get to say my piece. They get to say their piece. I think that's the most healthy way to do it. Saying that you want to have a podcast and you want to express your opinion, but you're going to get pissy when everyone else clips it and expresses their opinion, that's narcissism. That's just saying that I get to say what it is. I get to control the dynamic. And anyone else who tries to clip it and comment on it is bad or evil or terrible. I don't give a fuck if you clip my stuff. I'm not going to see it. I don't give a fuck if you say I'm Hitler, Satan, all rolled into one. A bunch of you say it already. You get your panties in a bunch. I've been getting people's panties in a bunch for 20 years, giving my opinion on the air. So I'm numb to it. A guy like Bill Burr, who's 20, 30 years older than I am, probably about 15, 20 years older than I am, still getting upset after doing this at such a high level that other people are clipping it and talking about it. It's wild to me.
So all I'm doing is just throwing another log on the fire.
It's fun though, right?
And then they can make more money. No, I'm sorry. Well, no, because they care so much. That's right. Sorry, not because they're just making money. But I do have to tell you, this is fascinating because I've never been in the middle of one of these fucking things. And my whole life when I watch the news, not every fucking news stories, but there's been a lot of shit where you watch it going like, yeah, I don't know, kind of seems like that kind of fucking thing. So to finally be in the middle of it and the level of like straight up lies is just, it's wild. And I'll be honest with you, I've been off the internet for like a fucking month, but just the shit people have been sending. It's funny, you get off the internet and people still send you shit. So like
it is funny, like people will send you shit and I don't even think they're malicious when they do it, but you also look at it like, why do you think I'd want to watch this? Like they'll send you a video titled like Bill Burr's a stupid Arab asshole. You're like, why would you send me this? Like, I don't need to see this. That person's allowed to say that thing. I don't need to watch it. Like, what the fuck? Like, I just thought you might want to see this. It's like, yeah, okay, I'll send you a link every morning of some guy saying that you have a smelly pussy. And you see if it's something that you feel like you really need to hear. Now, if you do have a smelly pussy, that is probably something you need to be told about and take care of. But you understand what I'm saying. Like, it is, Bill's right there. Like, you leave the internet for a while. And people are still like, oh, Bill, you got to see that. That's how you know you're addicted to the drama and you can't let it go.
These stories of like there was no women there, he just performed to the Royals. By the time they're done with this shit, they're going to say I went over there and did a one-on-one show in a fucking tent staring at my toes and then I left.
That is how they made it sound. That is how a lot of the people online made it sound, in fairness. Like it was a comedy festival. They were in an arena. There were thousands of people in there, women too, and they did comedy shows. And hopefully enough people saw those comedy shows that they want to see more of it. And the Saudi Arabia government has to keep bringing these people back. And each time there's more and more stuff they can talk about. And they break down those barriers a little more each time. That sure would be nice.
Head fucking guy, whoever the hell it is over there, right? Once again, I performed in an arena over there. In the round, there was 8,000 people at the show. Okay? It was citizens. And then they had diplomats sitting down front in a nerve-wracking way for the performer to make sure that, you know, you didn't talk about the 2 or 3 things that they said that they negotiated down to not talk about. Once again, as I said before, whoever put together the comedy festival and everything, what it did for freedom of speech over there, because like before it started, you couldn't talk about all of this stuff. And then they whittled it down to just that.
And I catch shit for saying that when I put clips up of this, which is fine, but I am right. And you can be upset. You can be mad just because you're mad. Doesn't mean you're right. The fact is, it does whittle away at these things over time. You have to remember, there are no Thomas Jeffersons in Saudi Arabia. All right? Any change that happens is going to happen incrementally, and it's going to happen through blue jeans diplomacy. Us exposing them to more of our culture. You heard it from Bill. It's already had an impact. And I know that's true because I've heard it from comedians that went there and comedians that haven't gone there, that the list used to be 50 things long. Now it's 2. And by the way, I've played many stand-up gigs where I've taken $1,000, not $1.2 million, but $1,000 or $1,200, and you're told not to talk about certain things. I was paid $1,500 by the Sherburne County Fair once to do an outdoor stand-up show. I don't know why they paid us so much. They didn't charge for tickets. It was one of their free like beer garden band shell entertainment deals. One of the things they threw in with the money they make on the fair. And I think it was about $1,200 or $1,500 to do this show. And it was outdoors, which is terrible for comedy. My set was fine, but it was nothing memorable. But there were a couple things that they asked us not to make fun of and not make jokes about. And I'm like, you know, it wasn't like religion and the government, you know, it was like, one of them was like, we have a lot of farmers and FFA and like egg people here. So like, don't shit on farmers or egg people because then they'll complain to us, you know, was kind of their vibe. And I'm like, look, $1,200 to do, I think I had to do 30 minutes and Adrian had to do 30 minutes. $1,200 to do 30 minutes. I'm just going to fucking take the money and I won't do your, I won't do it. Halfway Jam had us perform one morning in the campgrounds. Halfway Jam paid us $1,000 each. And it was like, don't shit on any of the bands that are here and don't shit on the concept of the concert, of the festival. Like, cool. I mean, I'd love to do some Sebastian Bach jokes, but I'm fine not doing them. So, I mean, you take a shitload of money from people, they can kind of tell you what to say.
And that is how, you know, if you truly care about stuff like that, you gradually move towards something more positive. All right? I mean, and I have to tell you, all right, all of this sanctimonious shit out there, I'm going to tell you something right now. I saw, in 33 years of stand-up, I've never seen anybody with bigger balls. And I'm not going to say the name of the comedian, even though you're going to figure it out, but I'm just trying not to get anybody else this fucking shit coming at him. Went on over there, openly gay.
Stefano, clearly.
In the middle of the set, 2 of the diplomats got up to go to the bathroom, and this person said, "Hey, where are you going? Are you going to go on Grindr?" I mean, I've seen them all. I've never seen anybody.
I mean, I guess maybe in Saudi Arabia saying that to the diplomats or saying it to the government officials is kind of wild, but and they didn't put him in stocks. They didn't kill the guy for it or anything. Like, they made a gay joke at a couple of the guys. I don't know if that's the ballsiest. I mean, I get maybe in Saudi Arabia it is, but you're kind of killing your own argument there. If you're like, that's the ballsiest thing I've ever seen. I thought you said the free speech walls were breaking down. That shouldn't be a very ballsy thing then.
Buddy, it's like, I don't have the balls to say that.
Okay.
And the fact that her own people came at her and all of that, it's disgusting. It really is. That's what they're going to clip. That's what they're going to clip. Bill,
Here's the deal. Like but if you have, it's the same thing with like making peace with people. You make peace with your enemies. You make peace with people you have a problem with. That's why they call it making peace. You don't make peace with your friends. You don't have to. If you're going to push boundaries, you got to push them in a place like Saudi Arabia when it comes to gay stuff, not San Francisco. San Francisco, you don't need to. It's already degenerate.
says fucking the reaction to da-da-da is this. And I'll tell you what else is amazing and really confusing to me is what we did over there wasn't even on TV. However, what everybody's complaining about was on TV the week before on a different event, and nobody said anything. So, and that's the difference between being a billion-dollar conglomerate and being an independent contractor. It's kind of like, if you go back to like, I don't want to talk anymore about it, but like I said,
it's a good point. We get what he's trying to say. Being an independent contractor versus a giant corporation, because let's let facts be facts. All the outrage that the internet's thrown at Bill Burr, all the angry people in YouTube chat rooms that have gone after Bill Burr, it hasn't hurt his bottom line. All right. In the real world, he's doing well. In the real world, he's making probably more money than he ever has before. He's just lost some respect of people who are always looking for something to be upset about. And the wheel has fallen on him now for the last few years. But he's still doing fine. His bottom line's still doing okay. So I feel like a lot of this is cathartic for people. A lot of people get to bitch and then their views go up and they get to feel sanctimonious and they really gave it to Saudi Arabia and they really, they got to call Bill Burr a hypocrite. And yeah, that lit a fire in them. That made them feel good. That's a good thing. That's great. That made you feel good. And then Bill gets to go and make $1.5 million and he gets to call all those people stupid. And then he feels good. He feels great about it. I don't see how this isn't a win-win. I really don't. All I know is you can't ignore Saudi Arabia and then expect all of the bad shit they do to get better. That's not how any of this works. It doesn't. You can't ignore tyranny and expect them to solve it on their own. You have to go and you have to open their eyes to other things, to other options, to other forms of entertainment. And you could argue it is working. It already has broken down barriers in Saudi Arabia. Numero uno says, Bill conveniently leaving out the expressed purpose of this festival is to reframe Saudi Arabia as a cultural hub for travel. It's not affecting the life of the common Saudi. Well, any more than like the fucking Olympics are when they're here, or the World Cup or anything like that. I mean, I don't give